Good evening, everybody. It's great to have you all on the webinar. I know there's lots of people joining to listen to this webinar this evening because it's our great honour to have Dr. Ronald J. Thompson on the line here with us. And I am sure that we're all very excited to hear about Valura Lux. Some of you have had the opportunity to hear Dr. Thompson speak, and I know quite a few of us had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Thompson when he was here in Ireland only late last year, and it was fantastic to meet him and to listen to him, and we learned so much, and we've all been excited about this product. But for a lot of you listening in, it's probably your first time with us today, so welcome to all of the new people that are in. It is my privilege to introduce our guest speaker for today's event. He's a board-certified gynecologist and the inventor of Allura and Valura Lux. And we're talking about Dr. Ronald J. Thompson. And just to give you a little bit of information about his background before I pass over to Dr. Thompson, I would just like to tell you a little bit about his history. So through his practice and his personal innovations, Dr. Thompson's career has revolved around his passion to improve the lives of women. Dr. Thompson received his medical degree from the University of Kentucky and possesses more than 20 years of experience as a practicing doctor. He previously served as a surgical consultant for the US FDA and numerous medical companies and still maintains his gynecology and surgical licenses today. Dr. Thompson is also an inventor and innovator and holds more than 25 patents on scientific and research-orientated inventions and findings in the regions of gynecology and obstetrics. Dr. Thompson's initial idea to invent the original Allura formula occurred in 1998, around the same time that Viagra was introduced to the US market as the first oral treatment for male impotence. Many of his female patients came to him requesting a topical Viagra-like product that would work for women, as Viagra was only shown effective when taken by men. Noticing this female need for a product that could improve sexual satisfaction and enhance intimacy, Dr. Thompson developed Allura. Based on the 1998 Nobel Prize-winning discovery of the nitric oxide synthase pathway, this patented intimacy-enhancing cream achieved immediate international success after its launch in 2001. Allura has since been sold in more than 40 countries and has helped millions of women regain the sexual intimacy and pleasure of their youth. Besides the benefit of sexual enhancement, this innovative gel serves as a topical vasodilator that benefits the body in other vital areas, which Dr. Thompson will elaborate on in today's presentation. It is also clinically proven, FDA approved, manufactured in a pharmaceutical grade facility in the US, and sold exclusively by NHT Global. Today, Dr. Thompson joins us to talk about the science and health benefits of this revolutionary product. So without further ado, because I know you're all waiting and dying to hear him talk, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome Dr. Ronald J. Thompson.
Sonia, I thank you very much for that very glowing introduction. It's very nice to hear these things, but it's also humbling. First of all, the PowerPoint that I'm going to present tonight was constructed by Claire Parnell at NHT Global. Number two, the artwork is all by my graphic illustrator, who's a medical illustrator, Lee Wade. So tonight we're going to talk about Valura Lux, exclusive patented technology for male sexual enhancement. Now, I've always been taught that if you're going to teach somebody something, you have to tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them, then you remind them what you've told them of. Within this presentation, there are, I think, close to 20 slides. Slide number 15, slide number 14, slide number 7, and slide number 4 are the slides that I really want to focus on. Slide number 15 is Valura Lux clinical proof. In other words, it's clinically proven, and this is a clinical of 19 men. We previously did a clinical of 63 men, but the dosage wasn't high enough. We enhanced the dosage and did the clinical proof on the higher strength Valura Lux. Slide number 14 talks about Valura Lux is a compensation for men for a naturally declining testosterone level. Slide number 7 talks about the exclusivity worldwide for Valura Lux in NHT Global and the NHT Global distributors. Slide number 4 talks about US, EU, and worldwide patents pending. And I'll get more into that, but that's important to know that with the Lux technology and the paraben-free technology, we will have patent coverage on Valura Lux and Valura Lux for an additional 20 years. So now we're going to move to slide 2. Yes, I'm not young. Yes, I'm not small. My next birthday, I will be 69. But I've done this forever. I'd like to change a couple of the numbers. I practiced for more than 25 years, but I still do practice. So that's more than 40 years. 35 patents. Actually, I'm up to about 45 patents, with 3 of them submitted just this year. This is something you can use when you're sharing this with other people. Let's go to slide 3. And slide 3 is of 2 years ago when my youngest son, Jeff, got married to Dina. This was in Boston. You see a picture of our families. And first of all, that's a combination of Dina's family and my family. And within that family, there are 8 doctors. We are a medical family. You see a picture of 7 of my 9 grandchildren with Dina and Jeff. The reason I say only 7, because since they were married 2 years ago, we have 2 more grandchildren, Oliver and Henry. Now, let's go to slide 4. The nitric oxide synthase pathway is profound. It was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1998. It affects almost everything that happens inside the body. Using this pathway, we developed the Allura initially, and using the menthol as a vehicle to penetrate skin to move the L-arginine, the substrate for the nitric oxide synthase system, into the underlying tissues. I'll explain some more of that in the future. But this is slide 4, which is very important. US, EU, and worldwide patents pending. Now, of the patents that we have that were issued back in 2000 and 2001, you know, those patents will have a life for another 6 to 7 years. But beyond that, we've written the parabens-free patents that will extend our patent protection another 20 years. All of this is a platform technology with multiple scientific benefits. But on this slide, I want to show US, EU, and worldwide patents pending. That's what's important for the confidence for the distributors, to know that this business is not going to go away. On slide 5, L-arginine and nitric oxide. L-arginine is the only substrate that can be converted into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas. It's easily communicated from cell to cell, but it stimulates the production of cyclic GMP, which is a very potent, prolonged vasodilator. Now, vasodilator means dilating a blood vessel, making it larger in diameter. If you look at this picture on slide 5, the smaller blood vessel has a small diameter and can't carry very much blood. If you look at the dilated blood vessel, dilated because of the nitric oxide synthase and the GMP, the cyclic GMP, you will see the much larger bore of the vessel. And if you calculate it, that brings in 4 times as much oxygen, blood flow, nutrition. So that's the importance of the nitric oxide synthase system. Okay, I'm moving on to slide 6. And this is a little confusing, and we're going to be getting into a little bit of medicine now. But it's not too confusing. There are 3 isoforms of the nitric oxide synthase. E, which is endothelial, and those are the blood vessels, those are the cells that line every blood vessel, endothelial. NOS is neuronal, and that stimulates the nerves. And the INOS is inducible. The inducible is when you present a load of L-arginine, it will automatically convert it into nitric oxide. So if you look at this, you see the blood vessels. Once again, if you increase the size of the blood vessel, you can increase the blood flow, oxygen, and nutrients 4 times. Moving to slide 7. Remember I told you there were 4 important slides. We've already hit slide number 4, which talks about the US, EU, and worldwide patent exclusivity, or the patents. This slide, which is slide 7, talks about the exclusivity for all of our technology in NHT Global. Now, that's a worldwide exclusivity. You can't buy Valura Lux from anybody except NHT Global. You can't buy Valura Lux from anybody. And quite frankly, the Valura Lux, Karen Simmons asked us to develop this, and she did not know that we had previously already developed it, and we'd already had the clinical proof on it. So this is important for business. You can't get it any place other than through NHT Global distributors. So as we move to the next slide, and I'm on slide 8 right now, what are hormones? You know, that's kind of an interesting question. Hormones is a potent stimulating molecule produced by glandular tissue, circulated in the blood, and only recognized and affecting only a target tissue. This is very important. Sonia sent me an email before this presentation. She typed in my email address, pressed the send button, and it came right to me. It didn't go to anybody else. It only came right to me. That's how a hormone works with a target tissue. Now, testosterone is a predominant male hormone, and testosterone is made in the male's testes. There are multiple target tissues, but the important thing to understand is testosterone declines from around age 30 or 35 throughout a man's life. Now, if you look down at the graph at the bottom, you will see all the different target organs. And it says, the title says, testosterone, target organs. Muscles are a big one. Male sexual organs are another big one. I'm going to move to slide 9 to show you a graphic representation of how the testosterone level declines with age. So, once again, 20-year-old men have no problems with testosterone. 30-year-old men start to have problems with testosterone. 50-year-old men definitely have problems with not enough testosterone. And testosterone in the United States is a prescription medication and sells about $1 billion per year as a testosterone replacement for men. I'm moving on to slide 10. We're getting even a little more complicated. What is the biggest organ of the body? It's the skin. The skin protects us from the environment and all the toxic elements in the environment. The Valura Lux technology is probably between 5 and 7 times stronger than the Valura Lux. Now, the Valura Lux is used on non-keratinized stratified squamous skin. If you look at the left-hand side, that skin has no keratin on top of it, and that is like inside your lips or inside your mouth. On the right-hand side, this is a more protective skin type that has keratin. What is keratin? Keratin is the waterproof layer. Okay? You look at the soles of your feet or the palms of your skin, of your hands, that's where the keratin is the thickest. Now, since the penis has keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, it takes a high concentration of menthol to penetrate and move the L-arginine into the tissues. But I'm sure that it does. We have that clinical proof. So once again, the non-keratinized stratified squamous is in the mouth, the vagina, the vulva, and the rectum. Okay? That is very absorptive for the Allura and Valura Lux. The rest of the body, it takes a much higher concentration of menthol and L-arginine to have penetration of the tissue. Now, moving to slide 11, this essentially says the same thing. Low concentration of menthol in the Allura and Valura Lux, high concentration of menthol in the Valura and Valura Lux. Going to the next slide, which is slide 12, if you ask me how your refrigerator kept foods cold, I could explain to you. Okay, but do you really need to know? You just need to know that it works. And it keeps things cold. This is essentially me explaining to you how the Valura Lux technology works. The L-arginine, once it gets below the keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, and it's into the dermis, which is just the layer underneath, induces a nitric oxide synthase system, which produces a nitric oxide. The nitric oxide stimulates vasoendothelial growth factor from the stem cells, and this causes angiogenesis. Angiogenesis means new blood vessel growth. With new blood vessel growth, you get new tissue growth. So with the angiogenesis, this is tissue engineering, okay? And that's the important part of it. You know, that's like keeping your refrigerator cold. That's the angiogenesis part of it. So once again, this is very technical, very scientific, all based upon tissue engineering and new blood vessel growth. We're going to move to the next slide now. And on slide 13, that's my medical illustrator's rendering of before angiogenesis and after angiogenesis. And you can see this is almost like a tree. This is like a tree growing, like the branches of a tree growing. But every one of those branches has blood vessels. They're blood vessels, and they have blood inside. So, angiogenesis is new blood vessel formation. This increases tissue oxygen, increases tissue nutrients, increases tissue blood flow, and this stimulates the new tissue growth from the stem cells that are resting in all tissue. This is how it works. Once again, this is how the Valura Lux works relative to how your refrigerator keeps things cold. So now we're going to move to the next slide. Remember, this is one of the important slides. This is 14. This says that Valura Lux will compensate for a normal testosterone decline with age. Once again, there's the graph of the testosterone decline with age. And Valura Lux is for increased virility for the male, increased sexual pleasure, you know, for both the man and the woman, increased sexual intimacy for the man and the woman. So this is slide 14, one of the 4 slides that I said was important. Now we'll go to slide 15. This is probably the most important slide, and this is a 2-month study of the use of Valura Lux in 19 men. 2 of the 19 men had a 17 to 20% increase after daily use for 2 months. 4 of 19 men had a 20 to 25% increase. 3 of 19 men had a 26 to 30% increase. 3 of 19 men had a 31 to 35% increase. 5 of 19 men had a 36 to 40% increase, and 2 of the 19 men had a 40% increase. Now, this is the way things typically look in medicine. Not everything affects everybody the exact same way. We can say there's a 30% average increase, but once again, it's much different because different people are very different and respond to products very differently. Okay? I'm on slide 16 now. In additional use of the Valura Lux is for spermatogenesis optimization. Now, in this situation, the Valura Lux is placed on the testicles to cool the testicles, decrease the heat, and increase sperm production and maturation. So, once again, for the sexual enhanced intimacy and virility, the Valura Lux is placed on the penis. For spermatogenesis optimization, it is placed on the testicles. 50% of all infertility is due to male subfertility, where the sperm are not mature enough, where they're not mobile enough, where there are not enough of them. This directly affects the birth rate. Not only the birth rate in Scandinavia, but also in the British Isles, in the EU, in the CIS, and in Russia. You know, the birth rate is less than 2, less than replacement. Okay? You can look up the birth rate. But this is the Valura Lux for the male can be used for optimizing the sperm count and maturity and the ability of the sperm to create fertilization. Okay, I'm now on slide 18. So the key benefits for the Valura Lux, number 1, male sexual enhancement. Stimulates blood flow and oxygen to the surface of the skin. Increases, clinically proven to increase the size of the male penis. It also increases the sensitivity. The second key benefit is a fertility enhancement. Spermatogenesis optimization. The third benefit is creates the ultimate sensory arousal and pleasure for the man, much like it does for the woman. So, NHT Global's guarantee, and this is from Claire, top quality and safety, and it's all made in GMP in Indiana, manufactured at Applied Laboratories, patented technology, exclusive formulation. Now, the very last one, paraben-free. Paraben is a preservative that's in all cosmetics. It prevents growth of bacteria in the cosmetic. It's especially important to get rid of the paraben in products that are placed on the genitals for men and women. That is the patent that is pending that will extend our exclusivity for an additional 20 years. Now, I'm on slide 19, directions for use. Apply half a milliliter of Valura Lux to the penis twice daily, morning and night. It will take 90 days to acquire maximum benefits. You need to continue using the Valura Lux to maintain the benefits. You know, and I tell people this is like a big tractor trailer truck, you know, filled with 80,000 pounds in it. It takes a lot of time to get it up to 70 miles an hour. If you take your foot off the gas, it will slowly come to a halt. This is why you need to use the Valura Lux continuously. Okay, I'm going to go to slide 20. Valura Lux and Valura Lux will both work together for interpersonal relationships, but also both work together to help with pregnancy. Conception is very important. It would be best to optimize the sperm for the man, best to optimize the natural conception lubrication for the woman, and that will increase the chances for conception and for pregnancy. So both Valura Lux and Valura Lux will work for intimacy, interpersonal relationships, and for conception. And then, of course, slide 21 is the last slide. I have several questions. I have a question that says, I have a few friends who are gay. They are very healthy, and I was thinking of showing them this. Of course, I don't care if they're male gay or female gay. The female gay, my female gay patients, you know, really appreciated the Allura when I developed it. Female gay patients, as they get older, they have something called dead bed, which means they lose responsiveness because their hormones are decreasing as they get into their 40s and 50s. You know, would the Valura Lux work for gay men? Of course. It'll work for any man, okay? It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter. People are people. This will work the same on all people. I have a second question on 6 to 7 times stronger. Yes, it is stronger. So it cannot be used by the female genital area. I'll tell you what. It will burn females. It will burn women. I would not advise using it, the Valura Lux, for women. I would probably not advise using it on cold sores or hemorrhoids or any place that you have leg ulcers. It's just too strong. And as I explained with the stratified squamous epithelium, you know, that's a protective barrier. If you have a hemorrhoid or a sinus or a cold sore, you know, there is no protection there. So you can't use the stronger Valura Lux. You have to use the Allura Lux. Okay, and then I have another question. Oh, these are from Sonia. Question 1. What is the best way to use Valura Lux and how long? Well, twice a day, at least for 3 months, and then continuing. Question 2, if a guy has no problems with an erection or staying hard, but it takes a long time to have an orgasm, I don't think the woman would complain about that. You know, can Valura Lux help him? I don't know. Tell him to use that and give me an answer, because I just don't know. Can you explain again why a man has to wait a few minutes after applying the gel before he has intercourse? Once again, you have to let the gel be absorbed and dry in the man, because I don't want I'm afraid that the gel, the Valura Lux, I'm afraid that it would burn the woman. Question number 4. Can we use Valura Lux for the same benefits? No, I've already answered that. It's too strong. We made it strong. We had to make it strong to penetrate the stratified squamous epithelium, keratinized. So it's like, it is 6 to 7 times stronger, and it's like, I would be very concerned about hurting somebody with it. Okay, I'm looking at another email from Paula. I don't know if it would burn men or not in that use, okay? And the reason I don't know is because that's kind of a different type of skin that's a combination between keratinized and non-keratinized. So that's why I'm saying I don't know.
Another question's just been texted me here. Can you use it if you're on medication?
What kind of medication?
They didn't say. They just said, can you use it if you're on medication?
Yes,
Heart medication. They're just texting in heart. Yes.
Yes, you can use it on any medication. It's absorbed only into the penile tissues. It's not really systemically absorbed. Okay, before I finish, I'm about finished.
Okay.
Once again, I want to go over the 4 slides that I consider of great importance. Slide number 15, because the Valura Lux is clinically proven to increase the size of the male penis. Slide number 14, Valura Lux is meant to compensate for a naturally decreasing testosterone level in men as men get older. Slide number 7 explains the exclusivity of the Valura Lux and the Valura Lux for NHT Global distributors. And slide number 4 explains the U.S., EU, and worldwide patents that are pending and will be pending for at least another 20 years. I thank you all for your attention.